Good morning, guys. I'm going to do a quick little video this morning for you. I want to show you a step-by-step process of building a 15,000 watt e-bike, what it takes to build it, some of the pros and cons, and I'm going to try and explain to you through the video how and why you do it the way you do. There's a lot of pros and cons in building one of these bikes, but I've had motorbikes in my past which are sold to do this project, so this bike had to be, it had to be up there. I'm a unique person, so I wanted it to be a unique bike. It had to be fit for purpose, it had to be fast, it had to be handle well, it had to be put together properly. Didn't cut no corners with it, went all out. I'd recommend you guys do the same because I'm certainly not disappointed with this build. If you watch it till the end, you'll see it finished, and if you watch some of my videos, you'll see what it's capable of. So these are the motorbikes I had, guys. There's an RM-Z450 and an RM-85 big wheeler. Me and my lass had his and hers bikes, and this is my mountain bike also. I had to sell to afford this project. So I had a vision in mind. I did a lot of research on the internet and I decided to buy this type of frame. The forks are the next things to arrive. At this point, didn't really have any issues with the build. The battery tray was too small to fit a decent battery in. The handlebars turned up and I didn't have a headset. The seat was the next thing to arrive in the post. As you can see, I had to do some fabrication work because the seat just would not fit properly. As you can see in this photo, the wheels had turned up. The bracket there for the rear caliper had to be adjusted, cut off and moved. At this point, I didn't really have any issues with the build. The front wheel fit perfectly onto the forks. It's on a 26-inch rim. The headset finally turned up, which meant I was able to fit the handlebars. After waiting a little while, I got the Hope V4 brakes. They turned up in the post with the brake levers, braided hoses and calipers. I couldn't wait to get these things on. Only to realise I didn't have the caliper posts, so that was something else I had to send away for. I had to measure front and rear, and at this point I realised that the caliper wasn't going to fit the back of the bike. In this photo you can see the frame is still the original colour, the burgundy colour. I hadn't really done any fabrication work to it just yet. I was just lining everything up and just making sure everything was going to work okay. This is the Bluetooth controller that I used. The wiring really confused us. I was not looking forward to fitting this. Had to wait a long time before I even started fitting the controller. It was one of the last things for the project. This is a mock-up battery. I was originally going to build my own battery with lithium batteries, 72 volt system. I thought I'd better use 1.5 volt batteries first, just to make sure I got series parallel correct. As it turns out, I ended up ordering a battery from a company in London. It's a special build one, which is being welded with pure copper. My weld set wouldn't weld it. After 3 templates, I finally got the battery, and I can't complain about it. This is where things got interesting. The rear shock turned up, and as you can see, it's kicked the seat out of position, and the swing arm was all wrong. I don't know how well you can tell in this photo, but you can also see the fork rake was all wrong as well, so this is where the yokes had to be cut out. So after sending the battery template away, the guy who was building the battery said the battery that I was wanting would not fit in the frame, so the frame would have to be cut. This is a fabrication work. I had to cut the top out to make a lid. These wheels cost an absolute fortune, and as you can tell by the roll, the spokes came all bent. All the wheels needed rebuilding. I had nothing but issues with them, and I couldn't check them for trueness or even see if they worked, as the bike wasn't fully built. As you can see here, I had to remove the bottom bracket and adjust the swing arm to make the rake on the rear shock suit, and I was also going to cut holes to lighten the swing arm. In the end, it didn't seem worth it for the extra fabrication work. At this point, most of the fabrication work was complete. I was trialling out with different colours and just making sure the bike was true and straight and worked as it should. After I was happy with the fabrication work, the bike had to be stripped down, acid bathed, shot blasted, and then repowder coated. This is the image I've seen, which made us decide on the colour I wanted to make the bike. In this image, you can see where the bush was in the frame. Those have been taken out now and replaced with bearings. You can also see the rectangular slot I've had to cut in at the bottom of the frame to allow the controller to fit. The controller box is also adjusted to suit my controller. However, it was damaged in the shop lasting process, so I no longer used it. After waiting about 3 months for the battery, it finally arrived. This is the battery, 72 volt, 30 amp hour, 200 amp battery, made using LG cells. This is where all the fun began with the wiring. The email I got with the controller was 3 emails long. As you can see, this is just a mock-up of the wiring. The 3-phase cables is hanging over the frame, just taped up and bolted together. Just wanted to see if I can get this thing working. The battery fits in the frame absolutely perfect. And the throttle wires were also an issue due to them not being the same colour as the controller, which meant I had to completely strip the throttle down and make sure I knew what wire done what.
You have video on us already, are you?
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, the project's finally completed. Looks the part. And this was its trial run. I left the sides off in case I did have any issues. Luckily I didn't. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like my video, please press like and subscribe. If you have any issues, please contact us and I'll certainly try and help you out.